Hello, welcome to another great workout. If you're new here, I'm Jessica and I'm going to be taking you through a seated, no equipment leg workout. Grab your chair, make sure you have a clear area to move safely, but other than that, we are ready to get going right now. Great job here. We're just going to start nice and easy with just some little steps, moving those feet softly, letting the body warm up at its own pace here today. As you start bringing those knees up, point those toes down towards the floor, creating a little bit of opening through the front of the ankles. You can include the arms in any of today's movements, or if that's not a good fit for you, you can always skip it and just focus on the legs. Great reminder to modify anything in this workout that isn't a good fit for your body. Even if it went well last time, definitely be willing to pull back today if it doesn't feel right for you. And on that same note, if something didn't work for you last time, give it a try today. You might surprise yourself. Let's go ahead and take this to tap out to the sides, getting a little bit of movement through the hips. Try not to rotate through the core. Good, gentle stretching through the hips. We have some bigger exercises, a little more intense on the strength side of it, so be patient, we will get to those. Leave that right leg wide and go ahead, kick that foot out. Coming soft into the knee, protect those knees here today. Take this one back in, same thing here, step it out with the left. Gentle kicks out. Good. If there's pain in the knees, you can always, of course, you don't have to come to a full extension. You don't have to straighten all the way. You can just kind of come just short of where that pain starts and end the movement there. Good, feel those muscles warming up, step that back in. Let's go ahead, take heel raises here. As you do this, it can be a little tricky when you're seated, especially if you're wearing feet, but try to push the ball of the feet down towards the floor. Great job. We're going to be building some nice leg toning and leg strength here today without really putting a lot of pressure or stress in these joints. Plant those heels and tap those toes up. Now you may need to play with the spacing a little bit, maybe further out. You're definitely going to be able to get more of a movement. Maybe you're engaging with the work better there, or maybe staying tucked back a little bit further and working with a smaller movement allows you to feel the front of those shins working just a little bit more. So definitely find the place where you can really connect with the work being put in those muscles. Maybe somewhere you can challenge yourself to increase some of that mobility as well. They should be getting warm. Great job here. Gotta keep those feet and ankles strong. Slide the balls of the feet back under the knees and turn those heels out to the sides. Heel lifts here. Again, pushing the ball of the foot down towards the floor. If you have flat feet, plantar fasciitis, or a little bit of instability through the arch of the foot, this is a great way to retrain those muscles to pull back in and really give those feet that support coming from the arch. Has a lot to do with how your knees and hips feel. Keep going here. If they get away from you or they widen out, that's all right. You just go ahead and correct. Great job here. Let's go ahead, take it to the front. Kicks with the right. Just barely put the toe down and come back into it a little bit more for the leg there. Now I don't want you working really hard from the hip flexor. I want the thigh muscle working. So if you are sitting really high up and you start feeling pain and pressure through the hip, lean yourself back and lengthen that leg a little bit further away so that will increase the angle on the hip, giving you just a little bit less work in there. So focus on this part. Try to avoid working from here. Easier said than done if they like to tighten up. Let's take it to the left. Whatever position you worked with on the right is probably going to be a good place to start for this left side. Good, really feel those muscles working here. Easy through the knee again. If knee sensitivity is an issue for you and coming to a full extension is causing tension or pain, just come right below the point of where that pain starts. Move where your body feels good today. It will get better in time. Take a few more here on this side. Good, and then we'll bring that one in. We'll come to those left toes, and I want you to lean forward just a little bit. You're gonna feel some core muscles kick in here. Push that right foot into the floor. Feel this muscle, not the knee. It's above and behind the knee on that inside. Tighten up and relax. So you can definitely use the hands. You should just feel the muscle just become a little firm. Maybe it pops out into the fingers a little bit. Make sure you've got the right muscle working here. No pain, no pressure in the knee. Right here, right on this inside, building support and stability for the knee joint. Whole foot presses flat down. While you're here, if you can think about it, try to pull the arch of the foot up by sliding those toes back just a little bit, not scrunching them, but pulling them back. If it's too much all at once, skip that part of it, focus on this guy here. Let's take last one. Switch it over to the left side. Right toes here so that we're not going to cheat with that leg. Press that whole foot down into the floor. Feel that muscle hopefully working. Little bit of a lean forward so we're not loading into the back. Keep those core muscles tight. Good. If you would like to get a little bit of help from the glutes, you can squeeze that sitting area there. Good. Push. Make sure the glutes are not taking over too much. You should still feel this muscle working. Good. A few more here. Last one. Plant those feet right about the same distance as the legs of your chair there in the front. You're going to have the feet solid on the floor, and I want you to think about pushing them out without actually letting them move. And what you'll find here is all of those sitting muscles, all of those glutes there underneath you will probably firm up. Start there, give them a good squeeze and release. Try to keep that mental connection of just pushing to the outsides of the foot, like you could push the floor apart, squeeze and release, but you're always coming back to just that little bit of tension from those feet. So it's this movement here without actually moving them if you're having trouble connecting there. And worst case scenario, if you're not finding that connection with the movement just yet, that's okay. Just squeeze the glutes and relax. Make sure that you're able to relax all the way, unless you're able to find that little bit of outward tension. A few more here. Getting warm in the sitting area. Great place to feel what is happening here between the right and left side. Is one side stronger than the other? Do you feel one side showing up more than the other? Chances are it's probably not equal. If it is equal, that's amazing, good for you. Keep going with both sides. If you're noticing that one side just isn't getting as much of a muscle contraction or it's just not as strong, work on just that side. So for me, it's my right side here. I'm only gonna work this side. I'm just adding in that extra last little bit. making sure that it has the opportunity to catch up with how strong this left side is. Really important to try to keep that balance of strength in our bodies. Great job there. Let's go ahead here, bring those legs together, give them a good squeeze. If knee on knee is uncomfortable, you can use a workout towel or something soft to place in there, sometimes even your own hands if that doesn't hurt, and then extend out, flex the toes up. Good, start tapping those heels under. As you pull the heel under, knee lifts just a little bit. Make sure it's not going to irritate those hip flexors. If this is causing you any sort of pain or you need a modification, one leg at a time from floor position. But I want you trying to get those adductors working here. So a little bit of a squeeze forward. Slide that knee up, extend it out. We have some really nice stretches after this. So if you're worried about some soreness, we'll help you work that out. Don't worry. So you're feeling the thighs working again. You're feeling those inner thighs working. And now those hamstring areas. Great job. Last one there. They should be warm and ready to work. We're going to turn slightly to the right. Get this right heel on the floor. And then I want you to think about pulling it back. It's not actually going to move. So you can definitely pull it in if you want to. I just want you to dig the heel in so you get a little bit of that roadblock. Feel those hamstring muscles working. I want you to be able to work and engage these muscles today without a ton of really big movements. So I want some of these exercises to not cause a lot of movement in the joints. Work the muscles, keep those joints happy. That's the goal. Pull back. So it's almost like you're able to pull back, but dig the heel in enough. Definitely stay solid in your seat. You should feel that muscle working here, even though we don't have a whole lot of movement going on. Great job. Let's go ahead and take the same thing over here to the left. Good. This is where you have to hold yourself accountable. It could be really easy to cheat the movement, to not find the work. You need to be purposeful and intentional here. Engage through that hamstring. Find that work. Good. Dig the heel in, almost like you could slide it back, but it's digging down and in into the floor. Hamstring working here. Hopefully that low back feels nice and good. We'll take a few more here on this side. Good. And then we'll step that one back in. Great job here. Turn it to the right side. We're going to take this left leg here and we're going to tap it back. Now, as we tap it back, it's really tempting to get out wide. I caught myself there doing it on the first one. Try to sweep the knee under and back, squeezing through here. Little bit hard in the chair. You can get a little bit of a lean forward, squeeze, and front. Worst case scenario, you can just get a nice ankle stretch here in the back if you push into the ball of the foot. Maybe you find a little bit of work here, might be just a little too easy, but like I said, worst case scenario, that ankle stretch is going to feel really good, opening up mobility back there. Last one here, send it forward. I'm going to again squeeze my legs together, so I'm closing them in. And I'm going to try to slide my right leg back, well, my left leg, sorry. So knee is shifting, but I'm not turning from the hip, so I'm not moving. I'm sliding it back. Feel a little bit of a nice back stretch there. From the front, you can see what's happening, squeezing, pulling back, creating space through the back of the hip, the movement. It's only about that far, so it's not much. You feel your inner thighs working here. Again, something soft to squeeze if you need it. Drop that one on down. Feeling good amount of work in there. Like I said, got those good stretches. Turn it here to the left. Tap the right foot back. Try to keep the knee underneath you. Push into the heel. Good. Stretch out the arch of the foot. Stretch the back of the ankle. Nice and easy here. This one's not so difficult, but it gives us a really nice setup for that follow-up exercise. Last one here. And then step it forward. Same thing, squeeze those knees together. Don't shoot the left hip forward. Pull the right hip back. Good. We're not turning from the rib cage or from the hips. We're pulling back. So just imagine pulling that leg back in place. It can be a little tricky to find. Just keep practicing. Make sure everything feels good as you work here. Good. So I'm a really good example here because this right leg has a lot of different mobility in its ability to move than my left leg had. To really engage with this movement, I'm not able to get nearly as far. Now, I could cheat the movement and move that far, but when I'm doing it properly, so tight in the back of that hip, the sacroiliac joint tends to give me a little bit of problems, so it's so much more difficult to move into it. One of those things, again, we want to just clean up those imbalances in the body. If you are noticing the same, don't get frustrated. Work where you're at. It will get there in time. Last one. Great job here. Step those feet wide. You do not have to leave the chair, but get those feet underneath you where you feel like they're really grounding into the floor. And then push and release. Almost like you are going to lean forward to stand up. Push and ease back. Try to keep the hands off of the thighs. We see a lot of people stand up this way. Develop the leg strength. Develop the core strength. Good. You can find more comfortable footing just where you feel like you can push down into the floor with those feet. And release. Good. Same opportunity here. Evaluate. Is one pushing harder than the other? Is one side stronger than the other? Maybe you have a little bit of joint pain and irritation on one side. Check in what's happening with your body and how can we make that better. If you have ideas, let me know in the comments. Hey, I need more right side stretching, or I need more left side strength, whatever it is for you. We all have them. The bodies are not symmetrical. Bring it on in. Great job here. Bring that right foot up. Ankle circles. So I'm going clockwise here. Finding a big movement. Counterclockwise. Starting our cool down stretches here. Set that one on down. Left leg. Again, I'm going to go clockwise to start. And then I'll roll that in counterclockwise here. Set that on down. Great job here. Let's go ahead, get a little bit of movement for the knees. 2 gentle fists just to keep them from buckling together so you're not squeezing on your hands. Just keeping those knees apart. Side to side here. And then we'll take easy extensions. You don't have to come fully locked out. As a matter of fact, don't lock it out, but how straight you come into the knee just depends on what feels good for each knee. Keep a soft bend in there if you need to. Good. Slide those hips forward in the chair. Let's go ahead and pick up the right leg. Take some nice circles out. Skim the floor a little bit. Watch what's happening in the core. So you don't want the rib cage opening. You don't want this big, hard, full of breath, air stomach. Hold those core muscles in to support your low back here. Good. It shouldn't look tense and tight and angry. Soften through the body here. Reverse those circles. It's still going to feel like a little bit of work. Active stretching. Let's go here to the left side. Same thing. What's happening through those core muscles? They don't have to be flat, but just keep them pulling in so you're definitely not pushing them out. This nice big round low belly here. Guide them in. That means they're working. Reverse this circle. Ease that one on down. Go back to the right leg. Hug it up and in. Foot can just fall and relax. Let your breath help relax you here. Stretch into the back of the hip, into the glute area. Cross that one over the top of the left. Ease it forward. And nice fold here. Good, so I'm not pushing or putting pressure on this right leg. I am leaning here, but my upper body weight is still being supported by my core muscles. Ease that on down. Slide it back forward if you need to. Let's go to this left leg. Hold, hug it in. Let it be heavy. Let it drop. Let it relax. Cross it up and over the right leg. Same thing. You can scoot back if you need to, but we will let ourselves ease on forward. Go ahead, take that leg down, bring yourself back up. Go ahead here, draw a nice deep breath in, and then exhale. Let your body continue to soften and relax all the way through that exhale there. Thank you so much for joining me for this workout. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, it's the only thing that I will ever ask you for in return for these free workouts. Hit that button before you head out and make sure that you meet me back here for the next great workout. I will see you guys again soon. Keep taking good care of yourselves.